Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.
Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland. Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
Switch on and switch off. Oh, sorry. I'll go back to my hole.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
I'm just so used to barfing right now.
But wait until it does to get happy.
I approve this message. I am Nadella.
I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Magnets!
And we are here to talk all things tech and magnets.
No, it is tech. I promise. It's so cool.
He's pretty excited, actually.
I'm
You know what?
excited.
Because of the excitement, we're going to start with some magnets.
Yes. Okay.
Me and Wes are still kind of lost as to
they have no
why
idea
we're
what's
doing
going on
this.
here, but trust me, it's amazing.
We
Okay.
really don't.
So, listeners, what do we know about magnets? What do you remember from, second grade? Magnets, right? North Pole, South Pole. Magnetic field lines come out of the North Pole, sweep around, go into the South Pole. You have
Right.
two magnets, north attracts south, south repels south, north repels north. This is magnets, right? They're pretty darn straightforward.
Correct.
Okay, so I am holding up right now a set of two magnets that Landon and Wes are looking at. And listener, you're just going to have to imagine that they're attached to a rod and they appear to be repelling one another, right? There's a little rod going right through the middle of the two of them, keep them in line with each other. And so, you'd look at this and you'd say, well, that's obviously two North Poles or two South Poles pointed right at each other. They're repelling. If I try to push them together, they don't want to go together, and that kind of thing. Okay, so, Wes, take those, pull them apart.
Pulled apart. Boom.
Okay, and now let it go.
Okay.
As you can see, those two magnets are attracted to each other
Correct.
until they get about an eighth of an inch away from each other, and then they repel each other.
That is correct.
Explain to me what the heck is happening there.
Now
here, Landon, I have a similar thing for you to look at. As you can see, they're, again, separated from each other.
So what I'm looking at here is there's, like I said, the two magnets.
And as you can
They
see,
have
you
a
pull them
rod.
apart.
They have a rod going through them.
They are attracted to each other until they get about an eighth of an inch away from each other, and then they repel. Now, Landon, go ahead and twist one of those.
Whoa! Okay, listener, they just snapped together as I twisted them, and then I twist them again, and they repel again. Okay, that's interesting.
Right? So what is going on there?
I would imagine it has something to do with the rod in the middle. Or is that brass?
It is a brass rod. It's
So it
not
has
magnetic
nothing
at
to
all.
do with
The
them.
rod
Okay.
is not doing anything except holding them in alignment with each other.
Wait, so what did yours do?
I just
Watch.
twist it, and it snaps together.
Yours are different. Yours do not do that.
Mine doesn't do that.
Nope. Yours are what is called a spring, which means that they are attracted to each other until they get about an eighth of an inch away from each other, and then they repel. Landon's are what is called a latch spring, which does the same thing unless you align them in just such a way that they will then snap together, and they're quite strongly attracted when you do that. Try to pull them apart without twisting.
It's
very difficult.
Yeah.
They are quite strongly attracted, but then you just twist a little bit and they just pop right apart.
Huh.
So, listeners, I would like to tell you about something just briefly in passing that is pretty darn cool. Magnets. They're not complicated. I was not expecting to be impressed by magnets, but then I heard about this company called Correlated Magnetics that make a product called polymagnets. And what these are is magnets that have magnetic fields printed onto the surface of them. Which is very difficult to explain, but basically there is a pattern printed onto the surface of each of these things that is basically a series of tiny little magnets where they're kind of like horseshoe magnets, where the North and South Pole are both pointing in the same direction, and so the magnetic fields are very tightly controlled right against the surface of these magnets. I ordered this whole demo kit from this company, and there were a couple of magnets that are one of which is extremely strong. It's like neodymium times 10, kind of is just an immensely strong magnet, but it doesn't actually start attracting anything until it is super close to it.
Huh.
Like a normal like heavy magnet will attract stuff from quite a good distance away, but this thing does nothing until it's like 1/8 of an inch away and then slams onto it, and it's like impossible to pull apart. And it's just really cool. And they do this with this little printing technology that they use to print these things on the surface of the magnets, and I've never seen anything like it before. So if you're curious, listeners, you should go look up some videos that are from Correlated Magnetics about polymagnets. There was an episode of Smarter Every Day that featured these magnets on YouTube, and that was where I first heard about them. But it's really neat to me because this is a concept that I did not think, I just never even considered. Technological advancement in the field of magnetics.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? But there are some really interesting kind of applications that you could have for these sorts of things, and I'm interested to see what the company does in the future.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So that was the thing about magnets, but like they're so cool, and I really like that reaction from Landon. That was pretty good.
That was yeah. That was interesting.
It's quite surprising.
Very neat.
Yes, it is.
So I'm done. That's my thing about magnets. I've been waiting like a whole week to talk about this.
Do that. That's pretty good. All right. Well, do you have any other news?
I do have other news. Should
Why
I
don't you
just go ahead
start
with
us
my other
off?
news? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So WWDC is coming up,
Yes.
which is the Worldwide Developers Conference for Apple, in case anybody listening wasn't aware of that. Just recently, there was a rumor dump that some of it came from Ming-Chi Kuo, some of it came from some other sources, fairly reputable sources, of just various rumors about stuff we're going to see at WWDC. So iOS, macOS, that kind of thing. Some of these rumors talked about iOS 13 having a dark mode. We have mentioned this in the past, but this is more confirmation. A swipe-based keyboard from Apple built in, which is kind of interesting. The built-in keyboard on iOS has never had like kind of swift key or swipe style functionality to it. Basically, the rumor is suggesting that they're going to build that in. And built-in functionality for the iPad as a secondary display for a Mac.
Finally.
Right? So there
Finally.
have been apps that have enabled you to do this, like apps and pieces of hardware that have enabled you to do this for years. You know, this is not a new concept, but this is basically Apple building it directly into the OS, which is going to really kind of suck for like Luna Display and AstroPad and all of those people who have been making a living off of functionality that Apple didn't have built into the OS. Now, the rumor didn't say anything about using this, using the iPad as a pen display, which is one of the main pieces of functionality you get from AstroPad and Luna Display.
Yeah.
Is being able to use the thing basically as a replacement for a Wacom tablet, which is awesome. But I have not paid for AstroPad or anything like that just because I don't think I would use it enough. But if Apple builds it in, then, you know, suddenly my Mac Mini starts to look a lot more like a portable machine if I can just carry my iPad with it instead of having to carry a whole freaking monitor along.
Yep.
So, you know.
Yeah. That's
that would
pretty
make
cool,
me,
actually.
when I finally end up buying my Mac Mini, I mean, I'm already tempted to buy one of the $329 iPads as is.
Yeah.
If it's going to get that functionality, that's what I'll buy to go with it.
That'd be pretty cool. They are nice displays. So yeah, so that's iOS 13. Just some neat little rumors. I don't know, like nothing terribly surprising. People are getting really psyched up about dark mode. I've been using the smart swap or the smart invert colors functionality in the accessibility settings to mimic dark mode for like a year now, and it works really darn well, and I don't know why everybody is complaining, because honestly, currently iOS has one of the best dark mode implementations in the market just by having that feature. So probably the integrated dark, like I would actually laugh really hard if their dark mode that they put in is just that, except not in accessibility settings.
Yeah, they just move it and rename it.
Put it in a more obvious place, and then they're all like, it's the exact same thing. Okay, so Mac OS 10.15, that's what we're on now. No rumors regarding what the thing could possibly be named, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be named, quick. Somebody, what's a place in California?
Golden Gate Bridge.
Alcatraz. Ha! It's going to be named Alcatraz. That's my
And
guess.
there's going to be a even more emphasis on privacy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Even more.
That would actually be kind of amazing.
That would be awesome.
So the rumors for macOS 10.15, not really anything too exciting. There is a rumor that iMessage is going to be basically catching up in terms of feature set to iOS. Currently, iMessage on iOS has a whole bunch more functionality and features regarding like stickers and emoji and that kind of thing than the desktop version does. So, they'll be adding those features. And that's not terribly interesting or exciting to me, except they're going to be adding in the GIF search functionality, which that's nice. I have been missing that on my computer at work because I definitely need to send lots of GIFs to the people I work with.
Yes, you do.
Since, there's a plugin for Slack that, just adds it in there, and that's super awesome, and I love it.
It is quite fun.
The other thing that they're obviously going to be adding is the Marzipan SDK. So for anyone who isn't aware, Marzipan is a character from HomestarRunner.com from like way back in the day, and they're going to be adding an SDK for automating and developing stuff for Marzipan in the latest version of macOS. So,
all right,
that's pretty exciting, isn't
waiting
it?
for Wes's reaction on that.
Okay.
Isn't
Because
that
every
exciting?
time I hear about Marzipan, that's what I always think of.
I know. It's so terrible. Especially
no, Wes,
since,
that is not what it is.
Especially since HomestarRunner.com on YouTube has finally started re-uploading a whole bunch of their videos again. And I'm also summer is coming, and I'm really excited to get my Trogdor the Burninator board game from last year's Kickstarter. Oh, heck yeah. They've been sending me like development updates and stuff like that, and the things have finished printing. They are now assembling and packaging them to send them overseas from China, and we should be getting them sometime in early July.
When this happens, we need to do a live stream of us playing this game.
Yes.
I'd be down.
It's got nothing to do with tech, but it is gaming, not video gaming, but I don't care. It's gonna happen.
Let's make it happen.
So yes. Anyways, Marzipan has nothing to do with HomestarRunner.com. Marzipan is what Apple is calling the iOS macOS hybrid apps. That basically are iOS apps that have been repackaged to run in macOS. Marzipan is the software layer that is combining iOS. UIKit is on the Mac side. No, UIKit is iOS. They're combining the UIKit APIs with the Mac version of that stuff, and that's called Marzipan. So, they're releasing a software development kit for Marzipan apps. Last year, they introduced us to a few Marzipan apps that were developed in-house by Apple. They are apparently, comfortable enough with the whole concept now that they're planning on releasing a software development kit so that everybody who makes an iOS app can repackage it to be a macOS app. So that's neat.
Cool.
I'm excited. Should be fun. Should actually make gaming on the Mac. You'll have more options because all of the iOS apps or all the iOS games will be on Mac. That is it. That is all that's rumored for the next version of macOS. There will probably be a bunch of bug fixes as well, and obviously stability improvements and that kind of thing. And frankly, some of Apple's best operating systems have been the ones where they have done not much. They've basically just said, look, we're just doing stability this go round. That's what Snow Leopard was, and Snow Leopard is still one of the best operating systems that Apple has ever made. So, I'm okay with this. And watchOS 6. There is a rumor for that watchOS is going to be getting an app store directly on the watch. Instead of having to install your watch apps from your phone, you'll be able to install them via the watch itself, which, for anyone who's been keeping track, that means we are one step closer to your watch not requiring an iPhone, which is, we've had discussions in the past about will Apple ever support Android phones with the watch? My supposition was always no, they're going to make the watch completely independent before they do that. And I think that we're getting closer to that now that we have an app store directly on the watch, to where you won't need to buy an iPhone to use an Apple Watch, and you won't need to buy an Android phone either. You just buy the watch. So, I suspect we are well on our way to that. Okay, yeah, that's all of the WWDC rumors. I did have some rumors about the 2019 iPhones I wanted to talk about. So
Rumors and rumors.
renders of the iPhone XR for 2019 would indicate that it has 2 new colors. They're dropping the blue color and one of the other colors that I can't remember which one was. It was like the magenta, kind of purpley one.
As long as it's not red.
No, they're keeping red. But they're dropping a couple of colors and then they're replacing them with lavender and green, which the rumored, like the renders that I saw that showed these colors, they actually look pretty nice. So like I'm okay with it. And then red and yellow and one of the other colors were still in there. So still 5 color options for the thing. There's also the rumor that we're going to be getting a dual lens rear shooter on this thing instead of a single lens like the current XR, which is nice. What is less nice is that it is evidently going to be using the same square camera bump as the rumored 2019, whatever they're calling the flagship phones. And I'm not okay with that because it doesn't have 3 freaking lenses. I wasn't even okay with it when there were 3 lenses on the back of the thing, and now there's 2? I wonder, like, the current version has 2 lenses. Just do... Anyways, I really hope this rumor turns out to be incorrect because I hate the square camera bump.
Yeah.
But rumor is the XR will have a square camera bump. I'm not okay.
Do you feel better, though?
For getting that out, yes,
Yeah,
I do.
okay,
I do.
good.
I appreciate it.
You
Appreciate you all letting me be an outlet. Thank you, listeners. You are very helpful for my mental health. Okay, and this is one piece of Apple news.
Whoa.
So, the trade-in prices for iPhones have gone down. Now, to be clear, this is just if you are doing a straight trade-in. So if you have an iPhone and you are trading it in and you just want like a gift card, like an iTunes gift card or something like that, that price has gone down. They will offer you less money for a trade-in than they used to. However, it stayed the same if you are trading it in while purchasing something. So if you are doing it like I'm buying a phone right now and you're like, okay, I've got everything, and then you're all like, do you have a current phone you would like to trade in to, take some of the money off of the value of this purchase? And you say yes, you will still get the same trade-in value for the phone that you were previously getting. It's just if you're just trading the thing in for cash, basically, you are not going to get as much. So, I mean, I don't actually know that many people that have ever traded it just straight across. Like, most people I know that trade their phones in do it while they're buying a new phone. So
My question is here. So you say you need to be buying something to get the full trade-in value.
Yes.
Can I buy a lightning to headphone jack adapter and get full value?
I'm pretty sure no.
I can get the $9 off for the headphone adapter and then get a gift card for the rest.
with $400 on it. No. I'm pretty confident.
Or what if I want to buy $400 worth of headphone adapters to throw at people?
They might let you do that. They might let
just walk around town and chuck them at someone.
Gonna be honest, I have not tried that.
You need a headphone adapter.
You get a headphone adapter, and you get a headphone adapter. Everybody gets a headphone adapter.
Go into the mall and make it rain headphone adapters.
There would probably actually be a lot of people who would really appreciate that. Be like, oh my gosh, I lost mine. Yes. So yeah,
I'll wait until they switch to USB-C, and then I'll do it with the lightning ones.
There you go.
Just to troll people. Like,
nice.
I can't use this.
I can't. Of course, once it's USB-C, they'll be able to buy a cheap one.
Yeah, and
anywhere.
they can buy USB-C headphones.
True. Those are more common. Yeah. How many lightning enabled headphones honestly ever got made? The ones that ship with the phone.
And the one pair of Beats
there was
ones.
one pair of Beats, and that's it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, USB-C headphones, because the Mac switched to USB-C,
yeah,
that's when those started becoming a thing.
Yep.
And there actually are few really good headphones out there that are USB-C.
Because a bunch of phones also made the switch to USB-C, and so like there was a lot more momentum in that direction than Lightning. So anyways, I don't know about that kind of thing. From what I understand, it will apply if you are, say, buying a Mac. It doesn't have to be a phone. But I believe that the price of whatever it is you are purchasing needs to be higher than the trade-in value of the phone in order for them to give you the full price. So
That makes sense. I
Yeah.
was just,
I mean, but I don't know, like loading up your cart with 1,000 USB or Lightning to headphone adapters, they might let you do that. I don't know.
they would be awfully confused, I'm sure.
Really would be.
Like, how many do you want?
I just need one of
why?
these everywhere I go. Every 10 feet, here's a lightning adapter.
Oh my gosh. Fair enough.
This is the strangest use case I have ever seen, but okay.
I used it in my decorating.
I'm making a mural for this.
Oh, there's probably an artist somewhere that would do that. That's
Yeah, his name
Weird.
is Landon. Apparently.
Challenge accepted.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yes. So that is all of my news. I've got a thing of gaming news, but I'll save that.
good. Landon, what do you got for us there in the Google world?
I have no Google news this week.
All right, moving on.
Well, I will say, I've downloaded. I talked about this on last week's episode. I downloaded the Beta 3 on the Pixel 2 XL that you let me borrow. I've switched over to the iPhone-like gesture system on there,
Oh, yeah.
and it's weird, only because I'm so used to the gestures that are on my phone, and since I don't use that one on a regular basis, it kind of throws me off. I go to hit the home button to go home, and it brings up the recent app that was after the one that I was just using. That's not what I was trying to do.
Yeah, someone's like someone messing with your own buttons.
I'm debating if I want to download it onto my phone. I haven't heard people say that it's bad, but I haven't necessarily heard people say that it's really ready for daily driver use yet with the Beta 3. So I'm still hesitant on that, but I really want to try the new gestures because I know they're going to be better.
Yeah.
But
Not ready to dip your full body into that one.
Yeah, not quite. Anyways, that's everything Google I have because everything Google happened last week.
Yeah.
So this week, though, a couple phones got announced. I'm going to go with the less exciting one first.
Gotcha.
The Asus Zenfone 6 got announced. And it's interesting in one way, and I will talk about that in a minute, but let's go through the specs really quick. It's got a 6.4-inch LCD display, which LCD is still a thing on Android, I guess. On a few phones, not very many. Comes with Android 9 out of the box. It's got a Snapdragon 855. It comes with either 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, 64, 128, or 256 gigs of storage with a micro SD card slot. Because that's still
micro SD
because that's still a thing on some Android phones as well.
Yeah.
It's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery.
Oh,
which is nice.
Nice.
That's beneficial.
Sizable.
It does have a headphone jack too, which is also,
does it
something
have
we
two
have to talk
headphone
about.
jacks?
Two.
That used to be a thing with phones.
Yeah.
You had to have it wasn't that really. I can't say it was a headphone jack, but you had to have special headphones with two prongs on it to go. I remember. Oh, those were awful.
Good times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, just me. Okay.
Just you. Just you.
Yeah, definitely just you. Starting price on this is $499.
Oh,
so pretty cheap.
That is cheap. Yeah, that's
basically
not bad.
flagship specs.
Yeah.
Now, I skipped over the camera, and I did this for a reason, because it's rather interesting. So, it's got a 48 megapixel camera and a 13 megapixel 125-degree ultra-wide camera.
Whoa.
No front-facing camera, because the screen is one of those bezel-less displays.
Right, yeah.
But this camera flips up in the back to give you that front-facing option.
Whoa.
It's got the cameras on the back, like normal, and then you flip them up, and you can
is
do
that on
your
a
selfie
spring?
stuff.
Because that's kind of amazing. If so,
I can't imagine it would be. That would be
awesome.
I don't. Well,
Just-
I mean, yeah, you click a software button and fing,
Well,
But
not even software. I want a hardware button. I want to push a little button on the back and have that thing pop up like a switchblade.
that would be different.
That would be
It
cool.
would be awesome.
It would be cool.
Yeah. So that's that's the way Asus is trying to get away from having a camera, like a notch or a hole punch or something on the
Yeah.
front of their phone.
Interesting.
Having a flip up camera. It's different from the ones that pop up out of the phone, like
Yeah.
Oppo and other companies have done.
Which
But-
I actually kind of like this implementation better, because if there's something blocking it, like dirt or grit or something like that, it's on the back where you can see it and you can like get a Q-tip in there and clean it out. and
Yeah,
stuff
this
like
would
that. Like,
definitely be an easier way to clean the
yeah.
stuff like
And
that
if-
because of the mechanical ones that pop up. If something gets inside of there, that's a pain in the butt to clean
Yeah.
out, and it's just
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
keep rubbing, and
Yep.
it's not a good situation. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is potentially a better implementation. It's a different implementation.
It
that
is.
is a little bit
Yeah.
better.
I'm less worried about this one. And like if whatever mechanism it is that makes the thing come up breaks, you can
Right.
still like pry the camera away from the back of the phone and have a selfie camera. You just kind of have to hold it up there with your finger or something like that while you're taking the picture.
Yeah.
Like there's ways around that. So I'm appreciative of their willingness to try and do something different.
You just wanted to go.
Yes,
You really do.
100%.
Yeah, it's different. It's interesting. I mean, it's $500. So I mean, you're getting flagship specs basically.
Yeah.
For $500. Again, it's Asus, so you got to deal with their user interface and whatnot. And I haven't heard. I don't know exactly how bad theirs is. It's probably not great.
No,
just
I
because most
doubt
of
it.
these Chinese phones don't have that great a UI.
No.
But it's a $500 phone, so not bad. If you load a different launcher on there, and you want to flip up selfie camera, the nice thing with that is you get the full specs of the really good camera on the back,
That's true.
True.
taking your selfie
48
pictures.
megapixel selfies.
Yeah.
And if you want to do a wide angle on the front, then holy
really
crap, that is a
100
wide angle.
125-degree wide angle camera. Yeah, that's. I mean,
That's
can't-
almost like a fisheye.
I can't remember what the one on the Pixel is on mine. It's pretty wide too, and
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome feature.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's that phone got announced. The other phone that actually is going to be more interesting to most people and me as well, the OnePlus 7 Pro. They did announce OnePlus 7, but nobody cares. It's not coming to the US.
Yeah.
And it's basically a OnePlus 6T that's just
With a
minorly
little bit
tweaked.
better specs. Yeah.
And like I said, it's not coming to the US. They're just going to keep selling the 6T in the US.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And then the 7 Pro.
it's the 7 Pro is the one that you're going to want anyways. Okay, let's go down the specs on this one. Snapdragon 855, 6, 8, or 12 gigs of RAM,
Woohoo.
because you need that in a phone. 128 or 256 gigs of storage, 6.67-inch AMOLED display.
Yeah, this thing's big.
Thing's massive. Like, it's freaking huge.
Yep.
Ugh.
Too big, actually, if
Like,
you want my opinion.
you know, I listened to I think it was Android Police podcast. They were talking. The guy that had the phone, he said he's like, I've got big hands, and I've never dropped a phone because I have big hands. I've dropped this twice in the past week. Like, holy crap!
Might be too much. Like
It's
at that
huge.
point, you are encroaching on 7-inch tablet territory, and that's just too big.
It's a massive
too
phone.
big for a phone.
It's huge. Ugh.
It's a tablet with phone capabilities.
Yes. Well, I
Kinda.
remember when those first got introduced in China. In fact, I think it might have been Asus that did the first one. It was a 7-inch tablet that
That you
had
can make a phone call with,
built in,
yeah.
and it was the silliest looking thing.
Weird.
Of course, this doesn't have bezels, so that helps.
Despite how large it is, it's only got a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, but that's still pretty decent sized.
Yeah.
Not going to complain there. It's got what they're calling Warp Charge 30. That's their new quick charge thing that they do,
Yeah.
but it's ridiculously fast because they have got that down really well.
Yeah.
It's got a 48 megapixel camera on the back, which it's 48, yes, but really it's like a 12 megapixel when you actually think about what it does. That's what's on the back. It's also got an 8 megapixel telephoto lens and a 16 megapixel wide angle in the back. So 3 lenses
Yeah.
on the back.
That are not in a square.
Not
in
in
the
a
corner,
square. It's
because
like
that's a terrible design.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
like, your normal 3 lined up right by each other kind of smart thing to do camera system.
Yep.
Yeah. And then on the front, it's got a 16 megapixel camera, and that one is a pop-up one,
Yes.
which,
That's my one issue with this phone.
and they're saying up to 300,000
Yeah.
or some. I can't remember how many, like tons.
It was a lot. They
a
were
lot.
basically saying that they've got the thing, like they've tested it such that it will go up and down up to 200 times a day for 5 years or something like that. And so it's an exorbitantly large amount of time. And they've got like a little gasket around the thing to keep stuff from getting in and that kind of thing. So supposedly they've got it all sorted out, but that's still my one issue with the thing is I just don't like having motorized bits on my phone.
Because you know that's going to be the one thing that happens to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and supposedly it's got like fall detection to the fact that if the camera is up and you start dropping your phone, it goes back in.
Yeah.
So it won't break off, which is actually kind of cool.
That's nice, yeah.
But another thing that was strangely brought up on the Android Police podcast was, so you can't take cool selfies when you're skydiving.
Yep.
Not that I would want my phone out while I'm doing that anyways. But that's not an option on this phone, I guess.
Nope.
Thought that was funny.
That is funny.
All right. Moving on. There's no headphone jack on this phone because,
that's a thing.
It comes in mirror gray, nebula blue, and almond. But the only version you should really look at is the nebula blue. It is gorgeous. Yeah. It is so cool. So cool looking. And all these specs, so basically flagship specs.
Oh yeah.
For the most part. For starting price is $669.
Which is more expensive than any other OnePlus phone.
Yes.
But less expensive than pretty much any other flagship.
Yeah, and that includes the Galaxy S series that are discounted often at around $800.
Yeah.
And so you're still looking cheaper than those.
Yep.
For just as good, for the most part, specs.
And from what I understand, a much faster user experience because like the interface is extremely basic.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very minimal. It's almost stock Android, and then OnePlus likes to throw in their own customizations and let you tweak it a little in different ways.
Yeah.
But they're all good things that they throw in there. It's like
and most
really
of the stuff that they add is actually just bearing the underpinnings of the OS. So it's not necessarily like we added this feature or we added these apps or something like that. They've just basically exposed more of the settings to the user, and which allows for greater customization, but doesn't necessarily like change anything about the user experience out of the box. It gives you the ability to absolutely screw up your own user experience if you want to, which is one of the huge risks of having a phone that has a whole bunch of customization like that. But, if you want it, there it is. And from what I understand, the thing, like, it's got an in-screen fingerprint sensor, right?
Right.
And the thing unlocks, like, at double the speed of the Galaxy series.
Yeah.
Because, mostly, there's no animation for unlocking.
Not on this one. There was on the first one. On the first OnePlus, it was one that needed a light and whatnot.
Yes, yeah.
This one, I still think it's the same style sensor. They've actually made the reading area of it larger, so less fails in that regard, which is like the Samsung one. You have to have it almost just perfectly in place or else it won't work quite right. So there's that.
Yeah. And then there's no like fancy like bubbling like unlocking thing on the screen. Like they just got rid of all the animation, which evidently makes the thing really fluid and really fast to use.
Yeah.
And like, this is obviously coming from me. I am definitely a little biased, but one of the highest pieces of praise that I have heard people that have gotten their hands on early devices to review that they've said is that unlocking this thing with your fingerprint feels an awful lot like unlocking an iPhone 6S or 7 or 8. And it, it's just instantaneous. And that is the fastest fingerprint sensor that I have ever seen. I have ever used.
Yeah.
And that's high praise. Like for these in-screen fingerprint sensors, we haven't seen anything this fast yet.
No, definitely not.
Good for them.
Yeah. The other thing that I failed to mention before on the display it's got a 90 hertz refresh rate on the display.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it works similar to how the iPad Pro 120 hertz refresh rate works.
Yeah.
It's not on all the time, but it works when it needs to be working.
Yes.
And from what I hear, it just works, and it works well.
Yep.
And people are just loving it.
Yeah. Doesn't your phone have a 90 hertz refresh rate on the screen?
Has a 90 hertz and a 120.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So, can you confirm that is better than 60?
Yes.
Okay.
I can. Yes.
But yours is set up to do it like when you're playing games and whatnot.
Yeah, I can customize it, or I can
Right.
just turn it on.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, is I don't think that the logic in the Razr 2 is there to change it dynamically the way that the iPad Pro does and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think
and
it's
that's
kinda
how the OnePlus is supposed to be
Right.
too. Is more like the iPad.
And so this is more just like you turn it on, you turn it off.
Yep. I can set
it
up
turns
certain...
on and off for certain apps and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a gaming phone. That implementation makes more sense in that case.
Right.
But yeah. It does make a big difference. My iPad Pro is more fluid and more smooth, and I actually felt really bad when I first got my iPad Pro and compared it to my iPad Air 2. My iPad Air 2, there's nothing wrong with the thing. It's a perfectly good iPad. It's quite fast. I rather enjoy it. It's a good iPad. But it's got a 60 hertz refresh rate.
Right.
My iPad Pro has 120 hertz.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the iPad Air 2 feels like a dog to use after using that iPad Pro. It really does make a big difference. So, for anybody who's thinking about this OnePlus 7 Pro,
Yes.
What's it called again?
OnePlus 7 Pro.
7 Pro. Okay. Anybody who's thinking about getting one of these things should probably reflect on whether or not you are going to seek out phones that have a high refresh rate display for the rest of your phone using life, because quite frankly, I don't think you'll be able to go back after you've got one of these.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this should just start happening on most phones anyways.
Yes. I agree.
I'm somewhat surprised they haven't thrown it into the iPhones yet, like the 10
Yeah.
or the 10, the 10S. It's like they could easily do it,
Yeah.
especially the bigger model. It's like, why not?
Well, I mean, to be fair, they did get a little bit of a benefit when they made the switch from LED to or from LCD to OLED.
Yeah.
Because the pixel response times on OLED displays are faster.
Yeah.
And so you get an improvement in fluidity just by making that switch. And so maybe they were just kind of relying on that to hold them over, and then maybe they'll introduce it on the new ones this year.
I think if they... I could see them holding out on the iPhones until they potentially throw in pencil support, because that was one of the big things with pencil support on the iPad Pro, having that 120 hertz refresh rate. That's one of the places it makes a big difference.
Yeah, reduces the latency on the input, which is, oh my gosh.
So if they were to throw in
good.
pencil support to the phone, that's where that's when it would be beneficial.
Yep.
Okay.
But all phones should have this.
Yes, definitely true. Okay, back to the OnePlus 7 Pro. It's got Bluetooth 5, which, kind of standard nowadays. NFC. It does not have wireless charging. That's something that they kind of took out because of the price and whatnot. It does not have an IP rating, but one of their marketing things is them throwing it into a bucket of water. They're just not paying for IP rating because it costs a decent amount of money per device to do that.
Yes.
And so I get it. They want to make the phone as inexpensive as they can. So but I still have a hard time throwing. I still have a hard time, partially because of the mechanical front camera.
Yeah.
You may still want to try to avoid putting it in water.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that with any phone, even though my phone is IP68 rated. I'm not going to go throw it into water.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that your phone is amphibious. It just means that if you accidentally drop it off the dock at a lake, you're going to be able to pick it up off the bottom and it'll be okay. And hopefully OnePlus has done that. At the very least, hopefully they've made it toilet proof, because that is apparently fairly common for people. I've never been in a situation where I would accidentally drop my phone in a toilet. So I don't know why this happens to people, but I have heard about it happening to people. So if this kind of happens to you, then the OnePlus 7 Pro should be okay in theory. But, there's no official verification that says it's okay.
Right. So that's all the specs on the OnePlus 7 Pro. People that have had the device, it's funny, they had the device about a week before it was announced or so. So most people that had it at Google I/O, and they all had to shut up about it. It's funny. Do you have one? Do you have one? Yeah, I got one. What do you? And they were talking about it with each other. It's hilarious. But everyone that has it is really impressed with it.
Yeah.
Even like the cameras are really good. Just everything that they've had issues with in the past, it's all getting better. With
Yeah,
OnePlus. And that's one thing I've always been impressed with OnePlus. If there's something that people complain about, generally they either just get rid of it or they fix it.
Yes.
So
yep. And like, I don't know, OnePlus isn't like their phones typically aren't the best at anything. But they're comprehensively good.
They're always really good at everything. They're just not the best at one
right.
specific thing usually.
But they cost less.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, honestly, if you want a phone that is comprehensively good at everything, you're not going to be able to say, oh, this has the best photos because it's not a Pixel 3. Oh, this has the best videos because it's not an iPhone. Oh, this has the best screen because it's not a Samsung. But it has a really good screen. It takes good photos and good video.
Yeah.
It's not the best at any of those things, but it is good at all of those things. And it costs like $300 less than all the rest of those phones. So.
Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things I think about this phone in particular is here in the U.S., it'll be available in store at T-Mobile.
Yay!
First OnePlus phone that's available at a retailer in the U.S., which still in the U.S. is the way most people buy phones is at their carrier store, which is fine, I guess.
If you're buying them from T-Mobile, that's okay. If you're buying them from Verizon, that's fine, actually. They're just straight up unlocked phones from Verizon.
Yeah.
If you buy them at AT&T, that's also okay. If you're buying it from Sprint, why are you still with Sprint? You need to stop that. Go switch to literally anyone else. Well, T-Mobile. T-Mobile has similar prices
T-Mobile
as a better
Sprint
carrier.
Are now one. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hopefully that makes Sprint better and not T-Mobile worse. Okay. I use T-Mobile's towers. Oh my gosh. This is totally Are you done talking about the OnePlus 7 Pro? Because I shouldn't tell this story unless you're done.
Yeah, yeah, it's available now to pre-order, or I don't know if it's in store yet. I know you can at least pre-order it, and like I said, starting at $670, dang good phone.
It is good price,
really good option
phone.
for pretty much anybody out there who wants a flagship but doesn't want to necessarily play flagship prices because they're a lot of money.
It's really funny to me that $670 is not a flagship price anymore.
It's really unfortunate.
Oh yeah,
I remember when $650 was the starting price for an iPhone.
Yeah,
that was a lot of money.
I paid $800 for my non-flagship iPhone, and it's weird to me.
I paid $900 for my flagship
it's so
Pixel
bizarre.
3 XL.
Okay,
unfortunate, but yes, that's all of my news actually. So.
Wow. All right. Okay, so this thing, I got an email from Verizon. I used to be with Verizon. They have a fantastic network, best coverage in our area by far. And that was why I was with them. But their plan's kind of expensive and yada, yada, yada. And so, I was like, I'm going to save some money. And so I switched to Ting. I've talked about this on the podcast before. I really enjoy Ting. It's a pay for what you use kind of thing. They bill you at the end of the month for the stuff that you use, and price steps up in predictable increments. And it's quite nice, lovely. I like it. And it uses T-Mobile's towers, which T-Mobile has pretty good coverage in our area. It's not as good as Verizon, but it's second place, and it's pretty close. So, Ting is great. I love Ting. The other day, I get an email from Verizon. Periodically, this happens because they're all like, please come back to us, and that kind of thing, because they have my email address, jerks. And it had a big old number, right, in giant bold letters to let me know that plans have changed, and I can now get an unlimited, or not even unlimited data plan. I can get like a 1 or 2 gig data a month data plan for $40 per line. Like, that's a huge selling point, $40 per line. Oof. And I'm like, you do realize, Verizon, that my line connection fee with my current carrier is $6. And when I add all of the data and minutes and text and everything that I use over the course of a month, I pay less than $25 a month for my entire service. That's fees and everything included. And I was like, Verizon, you have got a long way to go before you are even remotely tempting to me. So, anyways, that was just funny. Just speaking of Verizon, it's a good carrier, great coverage, not so great prices.
They are expensive.
Anyway, that was all.
That was it.
I just
All right.
needed to get that story out.
Fair enough. Well,
Again, I'm venting on the pod. Thank you, listeners. My mental health appreciates your support.
Caleb doesn't like talking tech. He likes ranting about tech.
he loves ranting.
Just ranting in general, if we're honest.
That's true. Tech, gaming.
I mean, if you've
people,
heard,
movies,
if you've watched any of our
movies.
streams,
magnets. Oh my gosh, I am so bad on those. Like, I
Sometimes
don't
it's a
realize-
good rant, like the magnets, and most
No, yeah.
often it's
Yeah.
not a good rant, like NVIDIA.
well, they are informative. They're good. They're good. But if you come in the middle of it, you're kind of like,
just
why
very
did this happen?
confused. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I should stop doing that on our streams because it's annoying to me. I go back to edit them to put the recaps on YouTube afterwards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ranting again. I'm like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I finally stopped. What's hilarious is I just now realized I am ranting about me ranting.
I was gonna let it happen. I'm like, this is pretty good.
I am nothing if not predictable.
Anyway,
Wes, please talk.
hey, speaking of predictable, I've got some news about two companies working together that I would not have predicted. Microsoft and Sony are going to partner for game streaming and other technologies. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see this one coming.
No.
In my mind, Sony, I didn't think had their cloud services up to par at all. I mean, if you go on, like, say, for example, their PlayStation Network, it is not great. I mean, it works, but it's above Nintendo's.
That's a really low bar.
Yeah.
So low.
I mean, I still get emails of them getting hacked all the time, and I'm not a...
If you want to have voice chat in Splatoon 2, you have to download an app on your phone to play. It's
Okay.
retarded.
I would have thought they would have gone to, like, Amazon or Google. I really did. And so, but to hear this, it's really cool. It's really exciting to me. I'm just going to put down what we need to know about this. So Microsoft and Sony will partner on game streaming technologies going forward, and the two companies will collaborate on image sensors, and they also aim to create user-friendly AI experiences. Those are the main things that they've released on what they're trying to do, because Microsoft has the cloud and the Azure, which is going to benefit Sony. Sony, what they say is they have really good image sensors.
Yeah. Which, I mean, most of the sensors for your smartphone cameras came from Sony. Like, they do that very, very well.
So that's what they're going to be combining their efforts on that, which is really cool. I mean, if you can get these two juggernauts together to push forward with that, awesome.
Yeah. I am over here because Wes is so happy and Landon is so happy. I feel compulsively compelled, that was redundant, to be the devil's advocate. And so I apologize, listeners, because I'm going to be negative now.
Now, before you go on this, another rant of some sort.
It's not a rant. I'm just
no.
providing another perspective.
No, this is
before
good.
you go. Before this, I want to clarify something. I think this is good news, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm not Wes happy about this. I just think it's cool.
That's fair.
Well, okay.
Because I don't game. To me, this is like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't think that would happen. Good for them.
Well, let me explain Wes happy over here, okay?
Well, I know. Okay.
let me explain this, okay? By all means, I'm not sitting here like we're better on this side of Microsoft. Good, you're coming over. We're gonna take over that. Like I'm not at all like this.
Right.
What I'm kind of excited for. So get this. Sony has really good entertainment things for them. Their movies, all their stock in the movies on that side. Microsoft does not. Their movies and TV app, like, you have to be basically in their ecosystem to really use it. It really irritates me that I could get a movie, but I can't watch it on my phone because they haven't even created an Android app to use movies and TV.
Wow, that actually surprises me.
It surprises everybody. I've seen it. What they say is it's in the works.
Yeah.
And this has been years.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. So how I watch my Microsoft stuff is through YouTube with Movies Anywhere.
Yeah.
Or Movies Anywhere. But that's only if it's not Lionsgate, Paramount, and whatever.
Right, yeah, there's a bunch of those
so
that
I don't get
even...
all my library.
Huh.
Now,
that's annoying.
So I don't know. Here I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, that would be kind of cool to combine certain services, or Microsoft get rid of and just implement Sony's entertainment side of things. I'm like, that would be cool. I mean, I could even go down to say Xbox and PlayStation. I'm like, okay, we know Sony has really good hardware. What if they were, going down this route? I'm just rabbit route. Collaborate to where Microsoft doesn't make the hardware anymore. They stick with the PC side and cloud side and just let the console be PlayStation versus whoever else is out there.
Which is kind of nobody, actually, if we're honest.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to see what happens with this together. Obviously, it's benefiting both parties, from what I assume, and that's where my excitement comes from, because I'm like,
right,
that's really cool, because I could really see the benefits on both sides being like, hey, you got this, we've got this, let's do this, what's better you, better me. But obviously, I mean, this is, we're coming down to it, this is Japan trying to be nice with America, and America trying to be nice with Japan.
Yeah. So, and my thing is that, like, I have, I don't know, listeners, you may have recognized this by this point, but I have kind of a fundamental personality flaw where I tend to take the opposite perspective of pretty much whoever I'm talking to, regardless of what that perspective is.
He does.
This is definitely a thing that happens. So, because Wes is excited about the possible implications of this, I would just like to throw out a few words of enthusiasm curbing insight. So my perspective on this is that what has happened is Sony, who I don't know who they're using for their cloud services right now, has decided that it is not working. That might be their own internal thing. That's entirely possible, that they're doing it all themselves. And they've just decided that's not working. And they started shopping around for somebody at an enterprise level who could provide them with the cloud services that they need in order to make the PlayStation Network better and also support their upcoming we're gaming from the cloud style, like game subscription service.
Where everyone's going, yeah.
Right. And so in that shopping around, they were all like, okay, Azure looks like it's the one we want to go with. And so they are now a Microsoft customer purchasing cloud Azure services from Microsoft on the enterprise side of things, which means basically nothing regarding PlayStation talking with Xbox. That's my perspective on this, because, I mean, it's basically the same kind of thing. If you look at an iPhone, it has a Samsung built OLED display in an iPhone. And it has Samsung RAM and so on and so forth. But that does not mean that your Samsung phone is going to play nice with your Mac. Like, they just don't. They don't have anything to do with each other. And so that's kind of the thing. It's two different parts of the business, two different things that aren't necessarily related. Microsoft partnering with them because they have a whole lot of AI development that has happened on the enterprise side of things, and they want to partner it, or they want to have really good image signal processing going on for cameras and that kind of thing to better just, it's research. They're doing research. Who knows where they're going to apply it. And they have decided that Sony makes the sensors that they want to use in that ongoing effort. And so basically the two companies came to each other. Sony's all like, we would like to use Azure. And Microsoft is like, we would like to use your sensors. And they partnered together in order to produce a deal that lets them both get what they want out of the other company for the least amount of money possible. That's what this deal sounds like to me, which, is fine. That means we're going to be getting better stuff in the AI image signal processing space. It means that people who are on PlayStation stuff are going to get a better cloud experience, hopefully. But I mean, to be honest, if Amazon would have come to them and been able to offer them a similar deal, then Sony probably would have been just fine going with AWS. Probably. Because AWS is also really good. But, that's kind of what it doesn't necessarily say a whole lot to me about Sony, about PlayStation playing with Xbox like that. They do not seem connected at all. And that's my perspective on the thing. I don't think that I would get too excited about those implications from this announcement.
With that, I would agree with you. I don't think it, on top of that, I meant Microsoft and Sony level, not Xbox and PlayStation.
Right.
So obviously, I don't think those two are going to play nice.
Well, yeah,
but when I went
you
down,
you were kind of like, oh, there's these possible implications down there, and I mean, I'm not discounting that. Like, honestly, it could be that this is the beginning of a partnership that is going to eventually end up with Sony and Microsoft going, you know what? Maybe we do the software better, you do the hardware better. We're going to partner up. We're going to combine PlayStation and Xbox, and we're going to have a PlayStation box that is running Xbox software or something like that. And we're going to call it the Play Box or the X Station.
Who
which
knows?
Just
No, I
don't
guess
call it
10
either
station.
of those things.
I guess I was looking at it when I was talking about the service of entertainment. It was more of the movies and TV side, just that.
Right.
That because obviously Microsoft overall, yeah, they're lacking on that. If they can't even get an app out, they have all the apps in the world except their movies and TV on Android.
Yeah.
That that to me, I'm like,
Which is
okay,
weird.
Because it's not enterprise.
Right.
Well,
no, that's kind of
and
it.
so I'm like, okay, there's that, and then but Sony, they're offering, you can do all sorts of stuff on their side with their entertainment stuff and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's that level to where it's like Microsoft's like, we don't want to do this anymore. Maybe you know what I mean, on certain levels, and that's where I was going with it. It wasn't really like, finally they're going to cross play on Xbox. That's not where I was going. It was more of, I think both going up and saying Microsoft and Sony, not Xbox and PlayStation. It was the two companies on top,
right.
like that. So
yeah, and any existing partnership between two companies is a good starting point for additional partnerships between two companies.
Right.
So that could definitely happen. But you could also end up with the kind of thing where, Apple ditches Qualcomm's modems for 3 years because, X reasons and so on and so forth. So, stuff like that can happen. And it could move on to more partnerships between the two companies. It could also not. And so I would just encourage some reservation in the way you think about these two companies, listener. It's not a bad thing. Nothing bad has happened. I don't want to say that anything bad has happened. I'm just not necessarily sure that this means that more good things are going to happen. It could mean that nothing else beyond this will happen.
And that's very possible. It's very possible to just let this is a big can of worms. Let's open it and people are going to be like, oh, and this, I get
you can definitely read really far into this, and I would say don't do that. You're just going to get your hopes up. Probably not. Probably not. If it does, awesome. But wait until it does to get happy. That's my advice.
Wait until it does to get happy. Can you get that into our intro? That would be pretty good. I like that one. Wait till it does. Okay. We're going to move a little bit more into the gaming on there, or gaming news on here. So let's talk a little bit about Minecraft. So we did talk a little bit about a little spoiler that they announced at the very end of Build, Microsoft did, for this new Minecraft AR.
Yes.
When they now have called it Minecraft Earth. Is what they called it. So they haven't really...
It's a game of Minecraft where all you have is dirt.
Look, we're going to put this block of dirt on top of your dirt. Yay!
We heard you like dirt, so we got you some dirt to go with your dirt.
Yeah.
Here's a dirt pickaxe.
So
it breaks after one hit.
So what it looks like, they released an actual video of it, is a lot of people in... So think of Pokemon Go, is what they're relating this to, but you can start setting places to where people can come and help you build things in AR with their phone or augmented reality device. Now, they haven't said how, when, whatever. They're just like, hey, this is coming. This is what it is. So let's go over what platforms will Minecraft Earth be available for. Platforms that are Android 7 or greater, or an iOS 10 or greater.
Nice.
So no Google Glass.
Yeah.
This is what it's saying. Yep. So
it's unfortunate. I guess I'll return mine though.
Is it unfortunate?
I wish I had Google Glass.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The tech nerd inside of me desperately wants a pair. Despite how weird they are.
Which is really interesting that they said, what it is, it's the AR Kit and AR Core. If you have an older Android device or iOS device that doesn't support the augmented reality framework, you won't be able to play.
Yeah.
Additionally, Minecraft Earth is not planned for any Windows-based devices, as it depends on Google's AR Core and Apple's AR Kit.
That doesn't necessarily surprise me.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
So, all right.
What kind of surprises me is that they aren't putting it on HoloLens.
Well, so the HoloLens version would basically be the VR version of Minecraft, and there is a VR version of Minecraft.
There, yeah.
Right, but the HoloLens is an AR product, not a VR product.
I mean, yeah, but it's also an AR product that is targeted at like large corporations to have
right,
meetings with.
But
Yeah,
currently, like
you are correct.
a lot of the stuff they use when they talk about HoloLens, they always, almost always mention some game that's going to be put on there. Whether
it's true, they do.
I'm sure it'll talk. This is still a little early, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the VR version of Minecraft is compatible with current versions of HoloLens. Like,
right.
I'm not sure that it is.
I don't have a HoloLens to test it out, so
nobody has a HoloLens to test it out, except for large corporations that they use them for meetings.
That's as much as we know. It's Skyping. Okay, Minecraft Earth release date. Minecraft Earth will begin rolling out in beta in the summer of 2019, and it will be rolled out more broadly to the U.S. and beyond later in 2019. So,
I mean, let's be honest. If you're going to release an outdoor augmented reality style app of this nature, doing it in the summer is a good way to do it. Just look at July of 2016.
Yes.
Fair enough. The next question is, where will Minecraft Earth be playable? Initially, the Minecraft Earth will be playable in around 5 cities in the world while Microsoft tests the game and gathers feedback. There's no information on which specific cities will be chosen to create the test as of this, but we've been told that at least one of them will be outside the U.S. So,
okay, that's way less exciting than I was hoping.
I would imagine somewhere in California,
Probably
New York.
Yeah.
Potentially Chicago, because Pokemon Go is huge in Chicago for some weird reason.
Maybe somewhere in like Texas,
Yeah,
Dallas or Houston or something.
I don't know.
And then Tokyo. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm one of them is not gonna be like Salt Lake City. I can pretty much guarantee that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I guess I won't be playing it.
Well, it says here that Microsoft is aiming to make Minecraft Earth global, utilizing OpenStreetMap location data. Eventually, regardless of where you are in the world, you should be able to get into the action. And then, how you can sign up and join Minecraft Earth beta test. Minecraft is allowing users to sign up at a page on the Minecraft Earth website. And just by doing so, you'll get a free skin Minecraft Earth Bedrock Edition, which actually is interesting. So I actually went and did this, and I got my skin, and I double-checked it. So from the bottom, you start at your feet, it's bedrock, and then as you go up to your legs, it turns to lava, and then you go up to your chest, it turns to water, then land, then up to your head is earth, and then above you is the sun.
Nice.
I'm just confused about how they're rendering an avatar for you, like with your. How do you apply skins with an AR game? Does that mean that the other people playing the game are going to be able to point their phones at you and they'll see your avatar overlaid over top of your body? Like,
I would assume
nifty.
So. And this is a cross-play skin.
Yeah.
So I hopped in, and it's interesting. It's probably not the greatest, but I guess it's more kind of like, hey, look, I got a new skin you can't have unless you sign up.
Yeah.
So
exclusives.
So it's supposed to be pretty huge, pretty cool, I guess. In the video, it shows a couple people together with their phones, grabbing and placing things on this tower-looking thing that they're all each building in this location. So I'd never played Pokemon Go, but I'm assuming you can say, okay, right here is a building, like we can build here type thing, or
I don't know. If they don't make it so that I can basically just walk up to anyone's house and build like a wall in front of their front door, then I'm going to be disappointed. Because that would just make me happy to just I'd
block all
you in.
I'm not sure, they didn't release a lot of details like that, but
I will be going to Spendlove's house, building a wall.
And then every morning when I wake up, I will open my door and point my phone at my door, and there will be a wall there, and I'll be like, well, boss, I can't come into work today because somebody bricked in my front door.
Take a screenshot and be like, this is what's in front of my house.
Now, the way that I'm assuming is you would say, in this beacon that I set up, I invite certain people, so that way some Joe Schmo can't come by and just put some sort of picture up on there, and then later you're like, hey, let's look at our fort, my little daughter. Oh, great. That's there.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. You invite certain people to...
Yeah.
It's probably going to be something that's like inside of a realm.
That's what I'm assuming. I'm not sure how it works. I never played Pokemon Go, so I don't know.
Pokemon Go is interesting because it's kind of a single-player experience, you know? Like...
Kind of.
Yeah.
But there are definitely multiplayer aspects of it because of gyms. And
there are the gyms, and they did finally introduce the ability to do battles with other trainers, which, holy crap, that took 2 years too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it is mostly a single-player experience, and so Minecraft is fundamentally different than, you know, like, so I don't really know how that's going to work out. It'll be interesting to see.
I don't know. We'll see. And obviously, there's going to be more and more coming down the pipeline as this comes closer to summer and the beta. All right, moving on. Microsoft did launch their 2019 Xbox update. The main features of this was the friends list improvements. Basically, you can see what platform they're on, if they are on. So Xbox One, Windows, Android, and iOS. I'm interested to see if it actually shows an Android and an iOS or an Apple or something, or if it just shows a phone. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I did look, and it showed someone was on a PC, and that's obvious.
Right.
I'm sure the Xbox, but I'm wondering if it distinguishes between the two, or if
it's a phone.
It's a phone.
I don't necessarily think there'd be any reason to distinguish between the two, because the user experience is going to be basically the same.
Yeah.
From phone to phone.
For the purposes of Xbox, it probably doesn't matter.
Right.
Probably not. Next is messaging improvements. This on here says a new message request feature prioritizes messages from friends and anyone you want to communicate with. Cool. And then next is the My Games and Apps improvements. The crucial My Games and Apps view in the Xbox dashboard no longer uses articles like a, and the when sorting the game by name.
Oh, that's good.
So, sweet. Those are those improvements. So now let's talk about Nintendo. So Nintendo...
they exist.
They do. And I thought this was an interesting offer. So if you are a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, you now have a limited time offer which can save you up to $20 on 2 games. Basically, for $100, you can get 2 game vouchers. And you can spend these on whatever game you want. You can pre-order with this. And most Nintendo games are $59.99.
Yeah.
So, you basically save $10 per game.
Or they're $80 if it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever.
That is true. And they do have a select set. They're like, here's the games you can actually buy. But one that they're really promoting with this is actually the new Mario Maker 2 that's coming out next month. Next month? It's later. Sorry. I don't remember if it's next month. It is later. So, but you can buy the new Super Smash Brothers. Boom, got it. And then pre-order this Mario Maker or Mario Party or whatever expensive IP that they've got.
Yeah.
So that's one way to save some money on Nintendo. $20.
Cool.
There you go. But you have to be a Nintendo Online subscriber to do this. Now, I think you can actually do it multiple times. It hasn't said one and done.
Oh, right. So you can buy, like, you can spend like $300 and get 6 of these things.
Yep. So I think you can do that. But like I said, you have to look at the eligible list of titles on there that are eligible for this. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this game, and then you buy it and you're like, oh.
Right.
So look at that first, and if it's worth it, go ahead and get it. Because now you have to, if you're ever playing online, whether it's Super Smash, Minecraft, or whatever, you have to have this Nintendo Online. So cool news. All right, well, that's pretty much all the news that I have, gaming news on there. Kind of exciting stuff coming up on E3. Oh, I'm so ready for this.
It's coming.
Oh, I am so ready.
It's coming.
Want it. I just now. Anyway.
Well, you're going to have to wait.
I know,
Wes.
but I'm really tired. So I do watch some people like on YouTube and stuff. And I hate when they're like, these things like leakers or whatever, and you look and they're like, oh, Microsoft is leaking. They might start a little early this year. Like, I hate you so bad.
This is not that exciting.
Like, the news is terrible. Anyway, but Spendlove, take it away.
Okay, so just in conjunction with the augmented reality games that we were talking about a little while ago, I just wanted to mention that the sequel to Pokemon Go from Harry Potter, wait, it's not really a sequel, but it's made by the same people that made Pokemon Go, Niantic, Wizards Unite. That is supposed to be coming out this summer. They have not given us specific dates or anything like that. They've basically just said, this exists, it's coming this summer, which is basically what happened with Pokemon Go too. So, sometime this summer, and probably the launch will be just as enormously popular and just as enormously buggy as Pokemon Go. That's my guess. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you really like wandering around parks catching wizards, because I suspect that's how this is going to play out. It's going to be just like Pokemon. You will be catching wizards with wizard wands. I don't know. Anyways,
Wizards with wizard
that
wands.
comparison kind of fell apart right there. You all heard it live. Anyways, Steam. Let's talk about Steam for a second. And the Steam Link, which is a piece of hardware that allows you to stream your games from your computer onto your TV.
Right.
It's also an app that is available for Android devices and like PlayStations and stuff like that.
Now, before he goes on, if you want reference, there is a previous episode from like a year ago where he does rant about this.
I do. And I am directly following up that rant with good news.
Good news.
Steam
everyone.
Link is now available on iOS and tvOS. So we were all kind of wondering, after Apple rejected it the first go-round, if it had something to do with the fact that the store exists in, like, it basically is just a remote desktop app. It is taking the big picture mode of Steam on your computer. It is putting it on your iOS or tvOS device. And that gives you a store that you can buy games on. And we were all kind of wondering if it had something to do with that. So they launched it on iOS and tvOS, and it was all like, okay, so they took out the ability to purchase games, and then it took a year for some reason for Apple to finally allow it back onto the App Store, right? Wrong! Store is still there. No idea what the heck. It kind of feels like they finally allowed the PlayStation Connect app that lets you stream games from your PS4 to your iOS device. Like, that got launched in beta on iOS and has the ability to buy games via the PlayStation Store in it. And it's almost like Apple finally went, sorry, we were kind of stupid about this, and just let the Steam Link app be there. But anyways, the ability to browse games on the store is still there. I guess I haven't actually tried purchasing any, because, I didn't have any games I wanted to purchase at the time. But it lets you use your MFI controllers, obviously, to play. And you can also connect your Steam controller to your iOS or tvOS device. They're not MFI. iOS doesn't know what to do with those things, but the Steam app does. So you connect directly through the app.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty interesting. And there's also the option, it is just a remote desktop app. So if you've got something controlling your computer directly, then okay, that works. So if you've got a Bluetooth controller that connects to your computer already, and you're within range of the thing, then you can just use that. You don't even have to use the Steam controller or an MFI controller or anything. So I downloaded the app on my Apple TV and tried the thing out with my SteelSeries Nimbus, and it's glorious. I played a couple of games, and I was just like, it works great. So I have a pretty robust Wi-Fi network and not a whole lot of traffic on it. Obviously, that is necessary. My computer is wired directly into the router. And then, obviously the best solution is for a wired connection on both ends. But if you're using an iOS device, that's not an option. I'm streaming wirelessly over 5 gigahertz, and it works. It's good. The response times were fast enough for the games that I was playing. And honestly, any game that works well with a controller, you're probably going to be okay. I don't think it'll be problematic unless you have a terrible Wi-Fi network. So, it's here. You can do it. And I am happy. It makes me happy. And I am happy, happy, happy.
That's cool.
I think he's happy about this.
Might be happy about
That's
this.
cool. No, I mean, you have the setup for it to be able to just play your games in the living room.
Oh, totally. And I am
Awesome.
actually like 100% within range of my computer, so I am going to be, because there are obviously some games that require some functionality that did not exist in MFI controllers when the SteelSeries Nimbus was made, like the ability to push in the thumbsticks. So, my R3, L3 buttons don't exist on my controller, but PC games, unlike iOS games, tend to take advantage of those buttons. So, I kind of need those. But I mean, I have controllers that have those. I can just connect them directly to my computer and just basically remote desktop the thing on my 65-inch plasma.
With your PlayStation controller?
Yes, actually, you can connect a PlayStation controller. It's not quite as, it doesn't use the whatever Connect. That
10 Connect.
doesn't use the Xbox controller connection scheme, which means that it doesn't work quite as well with Windows, but you can use PlayStation controllers, PS4 controllers, and PS3 controllers with Windows 10. There are third-party apps that will automatically map them for you, or you can manually map them inside the games yourself.
There you go.
Or if you've got an Xbox controller, obviously that's going to work. The one that I've got is a SteelSeries Stratus XL for Android and Windows devices, and that's what I'll be using, because I don't want to have to repair my PS4 controller to my PS4 every time I want to use my PS4. But it's it's darn convenient. And honestly, this kind of thing is the sort of thing that is going to make the Apple TV feel like a legitimate gaming device. And given that the SteelSeries Nimbus is my favorite controller of all time, I just don't get the chance to use it that often because there just aren't that many games available for it. So I'm happy about this.
Good.
I'm legitimately quite stoked.
That is cool. Technology works.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, when Apple lets it work. It's weird, but whatever. It's there now.
Cool. That is big news. Awesome. Landon, do you have any gaming news?
I do not.
Fine.
I'm waiting for Mario
Mario
Kart
Kart.
Tour to come out.
This is true.
Yes.
Then I will have some news.
He's our man on the ground for Mario Kart Tour.
Are you going to do the Diablo game that's coming to...
He's never even heard of it.
I didn't know there was a Diablo game coming to mobile.
There's a Diablo game coming to mobile.
Did you just zone out on our BlizzCon?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I was gonna say, did you not? He took a nap. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, there's a Diablo game you can pre-register for.
Wait,
Actually,
pre-registration is open for that?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, now that you mention, I think I did actually talk Kim and be like, wait a minute, that
Yeah.
sounds cool. Yeah, okay, I remember now. It's coming back.
Yeah, okay. On the Android, the Google store, you just go to coming out or coming soon games and register.
I'm gonna search for that.
You might
right
want
now.
to do that right now. So yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's that simple. So cool. Well, I think that's everything that we're going to talk about this week. So everyone, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you guys. Everything that you do, whether it's just watching, listening, downloading, whatever it is. You can comment and give us any kind of feedback or questions on our website at callingallplatforms.com. You can also take a look and comment on how awesome players Caleb Spendlove and I are on YouTube on our games.
Awesome, that's the word.
I don't know, that State of Decay one was really funny. If you're
Oh
like,
my
how do I do this?
gosh.
Boom, and you shot the person you were trying to save.
Well, it was the car was the best one.
Yes.
Where I'm sitting there like, I don't trust you to drive my car, and then I drove it into a pole, like literally as I was saying that.
I know, it just goes boom and explodes. Glass
It
flying.
didn't explode. I just crashed it a little bit.
But if you want to check that out, it's at our YouTube channel. For any of our stream recaps, that is at Calling All Platforms on YouTube. Everybody, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.